सियावर रामचंद्र की, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की. We'll be starting with the kirtan that's distributed on the sheets today. So this is, for those of you who are familiar, this is the same tune as Natwari Rangili. So in there we do the Radhe 3 times, right? But here we say Ram. So when I say Treta me Ram, Treta me Ram, I say. त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम, 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 द्वापर में सोई बनी आई श्याम, 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 त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम, 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 द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम, 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 त्रेता में राम, त्रेता में राम, त्रेता में राम, त्रेता में जोई बनी आए
Krishna
राघवेंद्र सरकार की। Radhe Radhe to everyone, Ram Ram. Let us look at some of the philosophy of this Kirtan written by Jagadguru Shri Kripalaji Maharaj that we were just singing. As I mentioned yesterday, Ram and Krishna are not two, they are one. The same Ram who came in Treta Yuga came as Shri Krishna in Dwapar Yuga. There is no difference between them other than a little bit in appearance and behavior, but actually internally they are one tattva, one form. So here Sri Maharaj Ji is pointing out that All you need is a little physical change and Krishna becomes Ram, or Ram becomes Krishna. Ram wears his mukut very straight. Shri Krishna wears his at an angle and with a peacock feather. That too, Krishna Braj, Vrindavan. When Shri Krishna was in Mathura, Dwarika, he also wore his mukut straight and no peacock feather. The peacock feather is Krishna Braj only. Krishna who does the purely loving leelas with no touch of godliness or almightiness, what we call Aishwarya. There's two main qualities of God's personality, Madhurya and Aishwarya. You can say loving aspect and almighty aspect or godly aspect. What we think of as godly. But actually the Prema Shakti, when that is revealed, the Madhurya overwhelms God's knowledge and godliness. So he becomes more playful and more loving. Thus, there's a whole spectrum from complete Madhurya, complete revelation of the Prema Shakti, where the Aishwarya is completely lean in that Madhurya. And the other end of the spectrum is when the Madhurya is not revealed, it's avyakt. Then the Aishwarya is fully prominent. This end of the spectrum, if Shri Krishna or Ram is completely concealing that Madhurya aspect, so there's only Aishwarya being manifested, then he is Bhagwan Vishnu. And on the Madhurya end of the spectrum, if he is fully revealing the Prema Shakti and the Aishwarya is completely lean in that, then he is Shri Krishna of Braj, Vrindavan, Radha Krishna. And in between, there's a mix. So the mixed one is none other than Ram himself. Shri Ram is manifesting some Madhurya, but there's still some almightiness as well. That's why there's more formality in Shri Ram's Leelas than in Shri Krishna's. But Shri Krishna of Dwarika and Mathura was also much more formal than he was in Braj. So you can say in terms of this spectrum, if it's pure Madhurya, that's Krishna of Braj. Some of the Madhurya concealed, so more Aishwarya gains prominence, then it's Krishna of Dwarika, Mathura. More Madhurya is concealed, so more Aishwarya is being manifested. That is Shri Ram. All the Madhurya, all the lovingness is concealed, so there's only almightiness. That is Bhagwan Vishnu. And if you conceal both the Aishwarya and the Madhurya, then Nirakar Brahm, formless God. So we actually call this as Brahm, the formless, Paramatma, the almighty, and Bhagwan, the loving form. So both Ram and Krishna come in this Bhagwan category. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. In the Bhagavatam, Vedavyasji refers to these three names and these three aspects of Shri Krishna's personality. So the same Ram, who came in Treta Yuga and behaved more formally, came as Krishna and behaved without any formality when he was in Braj. That peacock feather shows that style of Krishna, right? वो भी टेढ़ा है और श्री कृष्ण भी टेढ़े हैं. उनका व्यवहार टेढ़ा है, उनका प्यार भी टेढ़ा है, और राम एकदम सीधे साधे हैं. So, but it's the same Ram, same Krishna. They're not two, but revealing different side of their personality. Shri Ram carries the Dhanush Bar, and Shri Krishna replaces that with the Murali. So just those two changes. Murali instead of the Dhanush Bar, and the Morpank, and put the Mukut a little crooked. And then also everything about the way Shri Krishna stands, we call him Tribhangi Lal, right? He even stands in that Tede Mede style, with the ankles like this, and the hip like this, and the neck like this, and Ram bilkul aise seedhe khade hote hain. So Shri Maharaj is referring to these minor differences here between Ram and Krishna. There's a story told that one time Tulsidas ji came to Vrindavan. Of course, Tulsidas ji is known as the devotee of Ram. And in that same time, Tulsidas ji was gracing the earth 500 years ago and living in Varanasi and later Ayodhya. At that very same time, there were many, many Rasik saints living in the Braj area, Vrindavan area, like Swami Haridas, Hitaharivansh, Surdas ji. There were many, many Rasik saints living in Braj. So Tulsidas ji knew them as well. And these types of saints, they're all one with God. So they have no inner rivalry. And they know that all of God's forms are one. But they have this Vinodi nature, right? Saints also are very playful. The Rasik saints, when Krishna himself is so playful, then how would the Rasik saints not be playful who have attained him? So Tulsidas ji came to Vrindavan. And somebody said to him that, क्यों भाई आखिर में श्याम सुंदर के पास आना पड़ा, अपने राघवेंद्र जी के यहाँ सब कुछ नहीं मिला? ऐसे विनोद में किसी ने कहा. So they were just having some fun banter with Tulsidas ji like this, saying, oh, in the end you had to come over here to Krishna, you didn't get everything from Ram. So Tulsidas ji said, नहीं, मैं तो अपने राम के लिए वृंदावन में आया हूँ. He was there at Radha Raman Mandir in Vrindavan, and there the murti is of Radha Krishna, standing very close with their arms around each other like this. So Tulsidas ji just said, Prabhu, because Tulsidas ji has Dasya Bhav. And in Dasya Bhav, it's like some formality is there that you shouldn't see your master in a very informal setting, right? You have to maintain that formality. So seeing his Shri Ram and Sita Mata like this, standing so close with their arm around each other in such an informal way, he said, Prabhu, my bhakti, people are going to say that Tulsidas ji transgressed the bounds of his bhakti, of his dasya bhav. So you please take up your dhanush bar. Nahi to kalank lag jayega meri bhakti par. So right there in the mandir, all of a sudden, the Murali was gone and Shri Krishna was holding the Dhanush bar. And the Morpank was gone. All of a sudden, Radha Krishna are standing very straight and formal, and everybody's saying, oh, what happened? Tulsidas ji said, see, I told you I came here for my Ram, not for Krishna. So anyway, this Leela shows that Ram and Krishna are one and the same. Just Krishna is more formal, he's Ram. Ram is less formal, he's Krishna. One time, Vilva Mangal had a similar type of exchange when he went to Ayodhya. He's a famous Shri Krishna Bhakt from South India. And he came to Vrindavan when he was a young man. Later he went to Ayodhya. So he went over there to Ayodhya and the same type of playful exchange happened. Oh, so you didn't get everything you needed from Vrindavan Bihari. You had to come over here to Ayodhya Pati Ram. He said, no, I came here to see my Krishna. And he also prayed to Ram, he prayed to Krishna and said, please take up your murli and show these people that I've come here for you. So Ram all of a sudden was holding the murli and standing like Tribhangi Lal. So everybody understood, oh okay, Ram and Krishna are one. Here, Sri Maharaji is pointing out a couple of other important points, that Sita and Ram are also not two. Sita herself is Ram. Radha herself is Krishna. They are also one. And the same Lakshman, who was Ram's younger brother, came as Balram, Krishna's older brother. Of course, he is none other than Sheshnag. Now, there's one important point to keep in mind here. Maharaji mentions a couple of other things. That Treta mein ati gambhir Ram, Ram was so serious in Treta Yuga. Atishaya chapala Shyam, Krishna was so playful and active and naughty. But it's the same Ram. So towards the end, we need to understand something first. That there are 5 bhav with which you can worship God. One is Shant Bhav, that is for worshipping the almighty forms of God like Vishnu, Durga, Shivji. This means you fully see them as God and you're focused on, okay, I am a soul, they're God, and you worship kind of like a subject would admire their king from a distance. This is called Shant Bhav. Now in Raganuga Bhakti, which is devotion to Ram and Krishna with loving sentiments, we go beyond the Shant Bhav and we adopt either Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya or Madhurya Bhav. Dasya Bhav means like Tulsidas ji has, like Hanuman ji has. I am the servant, Ram is my master. In Sakhya Bhav, you're friends. Like Sugriv, like Vibhishan, they had Sakhya Bhav for Shri Ram. Like Arjun had for Shri Krishna, like Sudama had for Shri Krishna, and of course like the Gwalbals had for Shri Krishna. So even there you can see the spectrum playing out in the behavior and the leelas, right? With Vibhishan and Sugriv, how much formality they had with Shri Ram. Although they would sit on an equal seat with Ram, but their interactions were quite formal. Then you come to Krishna of Dwarika. Arjun was less formal with Shri Krishna, right? Even made him drive his chariot. As the chariot driver, Krishna had to clean the horse and do all that work. So Arjuna and Krishna had far less formality than Vibhishan and Sugriva had with Ram. Sudama had even less formality with Shri Krishna. They were childhood friends. So they were school buddies, right? But even less formal than that was Krishna's relationship with the Gwalbals in Braj. Because Krishna of Braj has no formality, zero maryada. So look, they were wrestling with Krishna. If they won a game, they would make Krishna, hey, get on your hands and knees. And they sit on him and ride him like a horse. Imagine doing that to Bhagwan. Bhagwan ko ghoda bana diya. Yeah, that happens in Braj because there's only Madhurya, no Aishwarya, no touch of Aishwarya. Krishna himself forgets he's God in Braj. And Gwalbals also forget he's God. Then we also have the next one, Vatsalya Bhav, like Kaushalya Mata loved Shri Ram. Dashrath ji loved Shri Ram as their own son. This is Vatsalya Bhav. Like Devaki and Vasudev loved Shri Krishna, and like Yashoda and Nandababa loved Shri Krishna. This is Vatsalya Bhav. So these Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya Bhav were revealed by Shri Ram during his avatar in Treta Yuga. The 5th bhav, madhurya bhav, was not revealed during Bhagwan Ram's time. I gave you an example of that yesterday when Sri Ram went to Sharbhanga ashram, and those munis over there, they wanted to embrace him when they saw him. They actually had a feeling of, he's my priyatam. Ram said, I'm not giving this madhurya bhav in my leelas in this dissension. When I come as Shri Krishna, then you can become gopis and you can experience this madhurya bhav. So actually those sages of Dandak forest from Sharbhanga ashram, they became gopis during Krishna avatar. So madhurya bhav was not revealed during Ram's avatar, but when he came as Krishna, then that formality was not maintained, and souls could also love him with madhurya bhav, priyatam bhav. You are my beloved. This is also a way we can love Shri Krishna. So here, Shri Maharaji is saying, Treta mein ek patni vrat Ram. In Treta, Ram was only with Sita ji. Dwapar mein aganit bam sham. People get very confused about this. That Krishna was with Radha, Krishna was also with Rukmini, and 16,108 queens of Dwarika, and then millions of gopis of Braj. They all considered Shri Krishna to be their beloved. How is it possible? It's madhurya bhav. You see, in the divine abode, there are infinite souls who worshipped God with dasya bhav, and now they reside in Saket Lok of Ram or Golok of Shri Krishna, and they eternally have this relationship with them as I am Das, you are Swami. Infinite souls. There are also infinite souls, we call them saints, God-realized saints. They go to God's divine abode. There are infinite saints of Sakhya Bhav. There are infinite saints of Vatsalya Bhav. And there are infinite saints of Madhurya Bhav. So, all those saints, any one of them could come here on earth with Shri Ram or with Shri Krishna to help them do their leelas here on earth. Could Ram and Krishna do leelas all alone? Well, they need some other people with them. Tabhi koi leela hogi. And they can't be ordinary souls because ordinary souls don't know what is the script. A leela follows the will of God. We're not following the will of God. We learned that yesterday. We follow our own will. God does not control us. But a God-realized saint is fully surrendered to God. Therefore, whatever God is thinking, the saint is already doing automatically. So, out of those infinite saints of Madhurya Bhav in the divine world, some of those came. Of the infinite Vatsalya Bhav saints, some of those came. Same with Sakhya Bhav, Dasya Bhav. And then in Ram Avatar, minus the Madhurya Bhav, he revealed various leelas of Dasya Bhav, Sakhya Bhav, Vatsalya Bhav. Shri Krishna revealed various leelas, including leelas of Madhurya Bhav. So this is why Shri Krishna had so many gopis who considered him to be their beloved, because they're all divine saints from the divine world. So many queens married to him, 16,108. That's nothing. There are infinite souls who love Shri Krishna like that. So this is not a worldly relationship. This is Atma or Paramatma ka madhur milan. Every soul wants to meet God, but the question is, what experience will you have? Will you merge into formless God and have no experience? That's called Brahmanand. Will you just get the vision of God in His almighty form? This is Paramatma, also called Aishwaryanand. Or will you get to have some personal interaction with God? This is called Premanand. And then within Premanand, there are various types of ras. Dasya ras, Sakhya ras, Vatsalya ras, and the ras of the Priyatam Bhav or Madhurya Bhav. So you see, God is simply revealing all these different types of leelas and different types of bliss when He comes here on earth. So during Ramavatar, He didn't reveal the Madhurya Bhav. When He came as Krishna, He revealed the Madhurya Bhav. So this is why we see these differences in His behavior and in His leelas. But Maharaji reminds us that do purna kaam hai Shyam Ram. Don't ever think that they have any kind of material desire. God and God-realized saints are beyond material desires. Whatever they're doing is simply to give divine bliss to all the saints and to experience it themselves. So in this way, we have some important understanding about Sri Ram and Sri Krishna. Now let us move on to today's topic. Yesterday I introduced this topic of Bhakti mein Badha, the obstacles on the path of Bhakti. And I told you that in Bhakti we try to accumulate progress, and we do that by attaching our mind to God. The more we do Smaran of Bhagwan, the more our mind gets purified, the more our mind gets attached to Him. So we gain by thinking of God. We progress by attaching our mind to God. But we can also lose, or we can make mistakes in judgment or have misunderstandings regarding the philosophy, and thus we may lose what we've gained. So to help us not do that, to spare us from these mistakes, saints have explained to us what are these main obstacles on the path of devotion, so that just like you're taking some medicine, you want to cure yourself. We have, what do we have? Bhavarog. We have the material afflictions. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Mad, Matsarya, Irshya, Dvesh, Pakhand, all these material afflictions. And we want to cure ourselves of this. So we need a treatment plan. The treatment plan is do bhakti and attach your mind to God. Okay, but along with taking medicine, you also have to know what is the parhej. Parhej means there are certain prohibitions, right? Don't eat this, this is bad for you. This will make this particular affliction worse. In bhakti also we have to know what is the parhej. And I told you that all the obstacles were divided into two categories by Rupa Goswami. He called them Adhyatmik Tushti, spiritual complacency. That's one category. And the other category is Kapuya Charan, which is craftiness and dishonesty in behavior. Now we started with Adhyatmik Tushti, and I told you there are 4 types of Adhyatmik Tushti. Yesterday we looked at the first type. The first type is Bhagavat Tushti. I explained that sometimes we may get a twisted understanding of the philosophy and think that God is controlling everything. Now we have to do bhakti. But what if we're thinking God controls everything, so He's even controlling my thoughts and actions, then we're not going to do anything. We may even justify wrong actions, saying that, well, God is performing all my actions. Why are you blaming me? Yeah, I know I slapped you hard, but what can I do? God makes us do all of our actions. God must have wanted me to slap you. That's why He made me do it. We can justify any wrong action by saying that, oh, God, Bhagwan to hamara karma karata hai. This is a twisted version of the philosophy, a wrong understanding. I told you that God gives us the power to perform actions, but we decide what to do with that power. And that's why God holds us responsible for our actions. He will reward us for good actions, punish us for bad actions, and when we do bhakti, when we attach our mind to Him, our mind gets purified, which cures us of those Mayic afflictions and gives rise to a growing experience of spiritual bliss that we get through Shri Krishna's grace. So we cannot wait for Shri Krishna to make us do bhakti. We have to do bhakti. Many times people will say something like, okay, yes, I know this special program is happening. If God wills it, I will come. Like some satsang is happening, some special devotional program is happening, and you invite them, tell them about it, and the reply is, if God wills it, then I will be there. So God has put this opportunity before you. Do you expect God to drive you to the satsang? You have to make the decision, am I going to sit in front of my television tonight, or am I going to go to satsang? You have to make the decision to what to prioritize. God doesn't prioritize our life, right? You make a to-do list. You decide what goes at the top of the to-do list, not God. Similarly, we have to make time for satsang. We have to make time for devotion. God will not make that time for us. Nobody feels they have enough time. But those of you who came here tonight, you prioritized. That was your decision. Yes, God put the opportunity in front of you and made it known to you. That was His grace. But He can't make you come to satsang. Unless you're a kid and he gave you birth in a devotional family, so your parents bring you to satsang, that's His direct grace. Up to a certain age, you don't have a choice in that, which is a good thing. That's part of your God's grace, that He gave you such parents. But as far as actually doing the devotion, meditating on God, putting our mind in God, that God can't make us do. We have to do it. This we learned yesterday. So this is the first obstacle on the path of devotion, Bhagavat Tushti. मुझे नहीं करना है, भगवान करा देंगे. जब भगवान कराएंगे, तब भक्ति अपने आप होने लगेगी. This is a big obstacle, because if we keep waiting like this, we'll wait forever. If God was going to do it for us, what is He waiting for? He would have done it already. He can only put the opportunities before us. We have to actually do bhakti, learn what is bhakti, and then practice it every day. Now there's a very similar situation with the next one, which is called Bhagya Tushti. So in Bhagya Tushti, we put instead of putting the blame on God, we put it on our destiny. मेरा भाग्य खराब है. जब ऐसा भाग्य हो जाएगा, तब भक्ति अपने आप हो जाएगी. This is just another way of shirking the responsibility ourselves. And there are some of the same dangers as the Bhagavat Tushti. Just like we can blame God for our actions, if we think that God is controlling everything. A twisted understanding of how destiny works is to think that everything is destined. So again, if I stole from you, it means my stealing from you was destined. So what can I do? It was destined. The destiny made me do it. Again, we may try to justify anything like that. A small sin or even big sins we could try to justify. So let us have a quick look at what is destiny. If somebody thinks, okay, destiny is controlling all my actions, which means I have no free will, the destiny is making me do it, then the question comes, where did that destiny come from? The destiny means the outcome of your actions, right? That's what we call prarabdha or bhagya. It means some karma that you did is now bearing fruit. So if the destiny is the outcome of your past karma, then there must have been a time when you had free will to do that karma, right? So you're saying, okay, I don't have free will right now. Not you, but the person with this misunderstanding. That person will be saying, I don't have free will right now. That means I've never had free will. Then where would the destiny have come from? You had to have free will at some point to do the karma, and now that's producing the results. So if you don't have free will now, it must mean you have never had free will, then there would be no destiny. And if you're experiencing destiny now, it means there must have been free will at some point in your previous lifetimes. And with that free will, you did karma, and now that karma is bearing fruit in this life that you're undergoing. So if you had free will then, you must have it now. Then what is destiny? How do destiny and free will coexist? Yes, they do coexist. If we understand that there are 3 forms that karma takes, the whole thing will make sense. Kriyamana karma, sanchit karma, and prarabdha karma, also called bhagya. Kriyamana karma is the purusharth that you're doing right now. You have free will and you perform actions. Nahi kaschit charmapi jatu tishthatya karmakrit gita. The mind is never still, even for a moment. And every thought of the mind is counted as karma. God is noting all of that. So this second to second chintan that's going on in our mind, that is called karma. Of course, the thinking also leads to speaking and physical action, but it's actually the mind. The thinking, the motivation, the attachment of the mind is considered the karma, not the physical act or even the words. Just like those saints who were teasing Tulsidas Ji or Vilvamangal. Their words were offensive, right? But was their bhavana offensive? No. So Bhagavan looks at the bhavana. Bhagavan looks at the attachment and the motivation. So he's looking at the mind. He's not looking at the words or the physical actions. So since our mind is the one doing karma, it means that we're doing karma every second. This is called kriyamana karma. And Bhagavan is keeping track of that. After your life is finished, all that stock of new karma you just created, the kriyamana karma, that is added to something called sanchit karma. Sanchit karma is the full stock of unlimited past lifetimes. That is called sanchit karma. And out of that full stock unlimited past lifetimes and therefore infinite past karma. Out of that, Bhagavan takes a small part and he says, okay, now this soul just finished this life. They're starting their next life. What will be their destiny in their next life? I'll take this many karma from their total past stock and give that to them to undergo the consequences in this next life. So that becomes the prarabdha karma. So we have the prarabdha to undergo, but simultaneously we still have free will to do new kriyamana karma. That's how it works. प्रारब्ध ऐसे समझो जो हमको होता है वो प्रारब्ध है, जो हमसे होता है वो क्रियमाण कर्म होता है. What we do, say, think, that is our free will, that is kriyaman karma. What happens to us that is not in our control, that is the effect of the destiny. हानि लाभ जीवन मरण यश अपयश विधि हाथ. Tulsidas ji gives some examples of things that are controlled by destiny. Hani and labh, loss and gain in the world. Jivan maran, life and death, meaning what circumstances are you born into? What family? What is the circumstances of that family? In what country? In what culture? In what religion? Rich or poor? With how many siblings? In what neighborhood? And maran, the exact moment of death, is controlled by destiny. And yash, apayash, being popular or unpopular, being famous or infamous, that is also controlled by destiny. It doesn't matter if you're a good person, you may get a bad name. It doesn't matter if you're a bad person, you may become famous. It's in the destiny. So, these few things are controlled by destiny. The rest is in your hands. Jagat Guru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj gives a very clear example, like a case study, to understand how the destiny and the free will are both they're both factors in how your life turns out. So he says, take the example of school. Let's say in your last life, you completed high school, but not college. So in this life, high school is going to be in your destiny. Means you won't face any major obstacle in finishing high school. But you still have to do it, right? If you quit high school and sit on the couch and only play video games, then you won't pass high school. You won't get your high school diploma. But it means if you put average effort, you'll complete your high school. No major obstacles. But college isn't in your destiny. That doesn't mean you can't do it. It means there will be more obstacles to overcome. It won't be easy. It won't be like just a smooth path. Maybe you'll have to work while you go to college to help pay for it. Maybe you don't have the natural aptitude for certain subjects and you have to study a lot harder to pass those subjects. Something like this, there will be obstacles to overcome because it's not in your destiny. The one who has college in their destiny, just no major obstacles. Yes, parents can pay for it or you get a scholarship and you have the aptitude. No major intellectual barriers to overcome. But you still have to put the work in. So it's in your destiny means no major obstacles to stop you. But you still have to do it. If you don't do it, it's not going to happen on its own. So this is how the destiny and the free will play out together. We shouldn't think that our focus and our determination cannot accomplish things. Of course it can. Shri Kripaluji Maharaj said, look, God realization is not in your destiny. Why not? Because you haven't done it before. You've never gotten God realized. Why would it be in your destiny? But you can do sadhana, you can do bhakti, and you can become God realized in this life. So nothing is impossible. If it's in your destiny, it's easier. If it's not in your destiny, you have more obstacles to overcome. That's all. Now, certain things like our major financial situation, mote taur par, is determined by how much charity we gave or didn't give in our last life. So that's why you see some people, they have degrees, they're very intelligent and hardworking, and yet they struggle to get by financially their whole life. And someone else may not be qualified, and yet they're like on the easy street when it comes to money. Pata nahi kahan se aa jata hai. They just don't seem to have a problem getting money, earning money. Why? They did a lot of charity in their last life. Giving charity is like putting it in the bank. You think, oh, हाथ से गया, मैंने इसको दे दिया तो मेरे अपने हाथ से गया. नहीं, आपने उसको नहीं दिया, आपने अपने स्पिरिचुअल बैंक अकाउंट में डिपॉजिट कर दिया. अगले जन्म में मिल जाएगा with interest. So that's how our overall financial situation is determined. Again, the coming and going of every dollar is not controlled by that, but it has a big effect. Someone wins the lottery. How did it happen? They gave so much charity in their past life. So it means that destiny is a force in our life, but it doesn't control our thoughts and actions of this life. So our bhakti, do we do bhakti or we don't do bhakti, that is not controlled by destiny. Although, see, there is some influence. For example, you did bhakti in your past life. Because of that, now that karma is there, that devotional karma. Bhagavan has to give you the outcome of that karma. How will he do that? He'll arrange for you to know about a true saint. He'll arrange for you to find out about a satsang, where you can gain true spiritual knowledge. So Bhagavan is not just gracing you randomly. He put this opportunity before you because you did bhakti in your last life, or you did seva to a true saint in your last life, and now the outcome is this opportunity is being presented to you. So call it the grace of God, call it your destiny, but it's because of your past karma. Now the question is, what will you do with it? Just like you gave so much charity in your last life that in this life you're finding that wealth just came easily to you, or you were born in a wealthy family. But now the question is, what do you do with that wealth? Do you do charity with it? Then you'll get more wealth in the next life. Or do you only use it for selfish reasons? Then you won't get the wealth in the next life. Similarly, we did bhakti in the last life, so God has put some opportunities before us in this life, but now what do we do with it? Do we go further ahead or do we squander those opportunities? Going back to the previous example, we have Radha Madhav Dham in Austin, Texas. It's the US headquarters of Jagadguru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj's mission. So we have programs there, especially designed devotional programs, so people can come and stay in the ashram for a weekend or a week or even a couple of weeks and practice bhakti the way it has been taught. So they get a good foundation and they experience that devotional atmosphere over an extended period, so they get a more elevated devotional experience. All of this has been arranged. And then somebody finds out about this, they attend a local satsang in some other city, and then they know, okay, this program is happening in Radha Madhav Dham. and I can easily ask for a vacation at that time and buy a plane ticket and go and take part. But when I'm invited, my answer is, yes, if God graces me, I'll go. If it's the will of God, I'll go. Arey Bhagwan ne itna kiya, itna kar chuke hain. He did all of that work for you. It's like someone prepared a whole meal for you and even is putting it in your mouth and you refuse to chew and swallow. What can the person do? And how is God going to send the email to your boss asking for the time off? Is God going to go on Expedia and book your flight? कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. ना भगवान करेंगे, ना आपका भाग्य करेगा. Those things you have to do. So we have to take advantage of those spiritual opportunities that come before us. We shouldn't just say, if God graces me, I'll go. Although I think people, even if they understand this, they still say that instead of saying, I don't think I'll be able to make it. Aise taal dete. They try to be polite by saying that. That's fine. But as long as we understand the true philosophy behind all of this. Vedavyasji says, Avashyameva bhoktavyam kritam karma shubha shubham. Mahabharata. We must undergo the consequences of our past good and bad actions. वो तो पक्का है. ज्ञानी भुगते ज्ञानते मूर्ख भुगते रोय. Which one are we? The one who understands that, okay, it's my own past karma, I have to undergo the consequences, good or bad, to saharsh bhogna chahiye. We should happily undergo it, knowing that God Himself has tracked our past karma and God Himself is giving us these consequences. So we should happily undergo any good or bad karma, the effects of that karma, as Bhagwan is giving it to us. And whatever spiritual opportunities we have, we should take advantage of those. So to do that, we have to practice bhakti. Now there are two more adhyatmic tushtis, two more types of complacency. One you learn when we put the blame on God, that when God graces me, then bhakti will happen. The second one, when my destiny graces me, then bhakti will happen automatically. So we've learned that neither of these is correct. If we have such a complacency, then we will never do bhakti ourselves. But there are two other types of spiritual complacency, Kala Tushti and Sharana Varana Tushti. We will look at those tomorrow and we'll also understand more about how do we actually practice bhakti. Bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. So let us spend the last few minutes we have before the Arti time doing a little bit of Kirtan. As we learned yesterday, Kirtan is an integral part of the path of Bhakti because Kirtan helps us keep our mind in Roop Dhyan. Roop Dhyan means we visualize the form of Sitaram. We visualize the form of Radhe Shyam. So choose whoever is your Ishtadev, call them forth, visualize them before you. This is called Roop Dhyan. And keep your mind focused on this beautiful form. You may even think of the Leelas of Sitaram or the Leelas of Radha Krishna. This is also Roop Dhyan. And the Kirtan aids us in keeping our mind focused on this Roop Dhyan. So let us also do this Kirtan along with the chanting, along with the Roop Dhyan. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Siya Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Siya Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Siya Ram. जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
अयोध्या नरेश राघवेंद्र सरकार की
जय।
श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की
जय।
जय जय श्री राधे। जय जय श्री राधे।